G'day guys, Dom here. We're making a video which is going to be pretty stupid. I think everyone can pretty much see that this is not a great idea, but we're going to do it anyway. So, the plan is to take this piece of O1 and make a stupid dangerous fidget spinner out of it, because I can. Step 1 is to get some glue on there. And I think we're actually going to use this side because it's already been cut up. And I'm using O1 for this purely because it's easy to heat treat. And I can't be bothered running a stainless cycle, so O1 tool steel it is. And because I don't feel like waiting, I like to sap it with a heat gun just to speed things up a little bit. Okay, so still a little tacky, but I reckon it's good enough to start cutting. So now that everything's marked out and roughed in, I can go ahead and just shape this. Not shape it, sorry, surface grind it. So the big trick to this is not to take your fingertip off. Which unfortunately I'm not very good at, so we'll see how this goes. Alright. So that one's cocked. So if I wanted to, I could use my surface grinder for this, but I found this is better because this will actually grind out any bends in the steel. A surface grinder's got a, or at least mine does, it's got a really powerful magnet on there that I can't switch off. So what can happen is, it can actually bend out any, or it can straighten out any bends in the steel. And that means you can get a part parallel, but you can't get it flat. This will make it flat because it has to cut off any warps or bends in the steel. So it kind of saves me a step. Plus the surface grinder is all the way over there and I don't feel like pulling it all out and setting it up, so this is a bit of a down and dirty method of doing it. Alright, so I got this skate bearing here, and it's a 22mm skate bearing. So to do this, ideally I'd have a 22mm drill. I don't, so this serves as a bit of a handy substitute. It's not great, but it works. Okay, so we got a hole nicely drilled out, and yeah, we're gonna pretend that that went really well, and I didn't have to yell and adjust the clamp like 50 times. Now we just need to go and chuck a bearing in here. See what fits. This is too long. All right, we need to cut off about, I'd say 6mm. Yeah, 6mm or so I don't hurt myself too much. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to actually add 2 little holes here, and they're going to be so I can actually mount some G10 on this thing. Okay, back to my favorite tool in the whole world, the drill press. Alright, so the holes have all been nicely drilled out, and right now I just chucked it in the oven, and I've had it cooking in the oven for a little bit, and I'm doing this just to normalize the knife, because right now there's a lot of stress in that steel, and letting it cool off like this actually gives it it kind of just relaxes the steel a little bit, so it gives you less issues in heat treat with warping and all that sort of stuff. So we'll just let this cool down slowly, and then we're going to go in for a quench. So, there we go. Seems like a good quench. Quick file test, and I can tell just because this file isn't biting that this thing is very, very hard, which is what we want. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean up the surface a little bit to get it ready for tempering. We have a little bit of a warp in there, but it's not too bad and it should grind out pretty easily. So now that we have the mill scale nicely ground off, not all of it's off, we're going to do that after tempering a little bit more, but right now it's good enough that we can temper this. And I'm actually going to use flame tempering just because it's a little different, and I haven't actually shown it yet. Now this isn't really the best way of tempering something. It can be very inconsistent and can do terrible things to your knife. But if you know what kind of colour you're after, and you're careful, and what I really should have done is I should have actually cleaned this off with acetone or something. You see those darker spots? That's oil. That's not me blowing the temper. But yeah, there we go. We've got a nice straw collar on there. I've got it all heat treated and tempered. I've also ground it again on the disc grinder to get it nice and flat, and it's ready for some bevels. To do this, I'm using a 10-inch contact wheel, or really 9.5 inches, because I was very, very intelligent and took a huge chunk out of the wheel, which had to be ground out, as you do. So we're at like a 9.5 inch wheel, I think. I don't remember how much had to be taken off, but it was a pretty decent amount. So that is a completely unrelated topic. Ceramic belts, all that good shit, variable speed, and yeah, let's get grinding. So we've got all the components here, and now we just need to finish them up a little bit. You can see how it all just fits together. So we've got the 2 screws here. They've got the damn things to fit. And this here is just a collar basically out of a Cody Brown G10. And the bearing's going to slip in there. I did make the hole for the bearing a little bit too big, so I'm going to have to figure something out with that. But it all just kind of fits together like that. And yeah, I'm just going to chuck it in acid and do some crazy stuff with it. So I've got the blade etched, and I've done a bit of a patina on there. And I'm just going to satin finish these bevels here just to make it a bit more interesting, you know, stand out a bit more. There we go. Had a bit of a spur of the moment decision to add some false edges on this, just to make it, you know, pop a little bit more, stand out a bit, and make it a little bit more interesting to look at, really. And now all that needs to be done is I've got to sharpen this. So we are done. Pretty happy with how this came out. It is absolutely insane. There is no other way of putting it. Like, this is not practical or, let's just say, smart in any sense of the word. But I just couldn't make a standard fidget spinner. Like, you've seen the videos on YouTube. Everyone makes the same damn thing over and over and over again. And I just couldn't do that. So I did something a little bit dumb and crazy. But that's fine. It's kind of what I'm known for here. I can't make normal shit. It's against who I am. And it's not too bad. I mean, I do have very hard skin on my fingers because I work my hands all day. But I haven't cut myself with it yet. Yeah, I mean, it's probably a matter of time before I do cut myself with it, but that's fine. I'm not going to sell any of these for very obvious reasons. But yeah, I don't know. It's something kind of... I'm comparing it to kind of like a ballad song. Like, you got that element of danger that you might fillet yourself. Like, you can do it with one hand if you're careful. Like, if you flip it in this area here, touching the grind, you can flip it with one hand. Just make sure you don't flip it on the edge, because that edge is sharp. It will cut the crap out of you. You can see I broke the tip off on this one by dropping on concrete, as you do. But yeah, this is definitely sharp. It's no toy. Yeah, I must have dropped that one too. So just, yeah, I just felt like doing something different, something a little crazy, and this is what I came up with. 01 tool steel. We've got the swedge there with the deep hollow grind. Did very thick edge geometry on this because it's very easy to drop on the floor, drop on concrete, that sort of stuff. And it's going to take a beating because of that. So thicker edge on there, just protect it a bit. And yeah, just a cheap skate bearing, some 01 tool steel, and a bit of G10. Just being very careful. This is like the most careful spinner video ever. Just making sure I don't fillet myself on camera. I also brushed and two-toned the hardware. And I did the rad poisoning patina on all of the exposed surfaces except for the satin grinds, obviously. So yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you on the next video. Don't do this. I'm a professional dickhead. was a bit of a disappointment. Kind of worked, sort of. I've got a bit of apple juice lying around. Anyway, so yeah. If you ever want to like casually wound an apple, I guess it works. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.